Hey, welcome to the After Party Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Haven Poker. Please download it. Would you please download Haven Poker? And don't forget, after you download the app and play a little bit of poker, which is super fun, don't forget to go in and use the promo code PowerTrip. And I'll tell you why. You're going to get free spending money on the app. That's awesome. And it'll keep the PowerTrip After Party on the air if you care about such things. Either way, thank you, Haven Poker, for sponsoring and bringing back to life the After Party Podcast. Man, have we got things for you guys today. Zacho and I have been working our asses off to get this show ready today.
Is that right?
Are you ready? Do you have headphones over there, Coral Cove?
You should be able to hear with these.
Okay. I would like you to hear this if you haven't heard it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very unfortunate misspeak by a baseball
College
announcer.
baseball game on ESPN last night, and whoops.
Here you go.
We can't turn the we can't turn the clock back.
Ooh.
I know it's after midnight. We can't turn the clock back and turn it back into the mid-'80s.
One more time.
And we can't turn the we can't turn the clock.
I mean, if that ain't a Freudian slip,
Wow.
I mean,
And there is an African-American gentleman at the plate.
Oh, yeah, some guy sent us that, yeah.
I think this guy needs a segment on Friday.
Yeah.
You can't turn the black cock black cock.
If he had said you can't turn the cock back,
yeah.
you'd say that makes sense. He just accidentally said cock instead of clock.
Yeah.
But to switch the word back in front of it and then change it to black.
Brilliant.
Boy.
Just brilliant.
I just think he knew going into it that he could fuck it up.
Yeah,
and
he
then
started thinking.
overcorrected it.
Oh, wait,
and
you just overcorrect. Yeah.
put too many L's and too few L's here and there. So
Brilliant.
That's
whoops.
Man.
Yep, whoops, there it is. So there you go.
Well, that guy wishes he could turn the clock black.
Black.
No, wait.
Okay.
I mean,
Black cock.
If
cock,
you could
blacker,
turn black time, is that what
Right.
he's basically saying? Yeah.
ooh, doggy.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So that's one thing for you. Here's another thing. Have you guys ever rented a car from Chicago O'Hare Airport?
No.
No, Chicago, if hell exists, it's being delayed at Chicago O'Hare Airport for the rest of eternity.
I would agree. If you ever do rent a car from Chicago O'Hare Airport, when you're leaving the lot, you may notice a memorial as you're leaving the rental lot and going through various Chicago neighborhoods. One of the weirdest things ever, by the way, is landing at either Midway or Chicago O'Hare, and you're basically landing in people's backyards.
Where
Just
do you
weird,
guys
right?
find you with the Vikes?
O'Hare most of the time, which is just a goddamn nightmare because it takes forever to get downtown. But I digress. You will notice the memorial to America's worst domestic air disaster. In 1979, on this day,
Series of
on this day in 1979, 44 years ago, America's worst domestic air disaster occurred when an American Airlines DC-10 crashed during takeoff at Chicago O'Hare's International Airport. It killed 271 people.
Jesus.
And 2 more on the ground. And it literally is just right outside of Chicago O'Hare. Like you can see how the plane crashed right there where it did. It didn't take off. It just turned left and went straight into the ground. Terrifying. But a little something you might want to see sometime is the monument.
No thanks, Daddy.
Nope, not in a rush to see that.
You know, I am
Very
always
cool.
freaked out when we're landing. I never care about takeoff.
I'm
always cool with it.
100% the opposite.
Most
I'm
people
the
are
opposite
apparently
as well.
Yeah, most people are.
Once,
not me.
once again, it's that first initial bank that I know they're doing it, but I always feel like this is where something's going wrong. And I'm not a nervous flyer, and so I shouldn't even say I get nervous about the takeoff. But if it's which one makes you more nervous, it's takeoff by 30 times more.
Yeah, I don't know. But for me, it's landing.
I'm never terrified.
Oh, tough guy over there.
Tough guy.
Well, because
Even during the worst turbulence?
yeah, because worst case scenario, you crash and die,
Oh, Rosie.
but your name's probably on the news.
Oh,
You probably
wow.
people talk about you. You know, at your high
gives a
school.
fuck? You're
you
dead.
might
You're
get a
dead.
plaque. You might get.
You would never
might get
know
a
any
what?
of this.
We've
talked about this in the past.
Care.
Yeah,
You're
no,
very
you
concerned
would
about
Life
know.
things.
doesn't matter when you're living.
No,
Why would
dear
it matter
God,
when
here
you're
comes-
dead? You
Okay,
might as
here
well.
we go. Here comes
Okay.
prophecy,
I don't know what's
Zach.
going
This
on
is
over there.
profound stuff from a stone guy, right?
know
This is
what's
what
going on.
when
Yeah.
stone people get high, this is what they think about: is life doesn't matter. Well,
The
of course
best
it
thing you
doesn't
can
matter.
do
That
with
doesn't mean
your life
you want
is be
to die.
remembered. The best thing you can do with your life is be remembered, and if it means going down in a plane crash, I'm fine with it.
How about keep living and then eventually being remembered by people that you love
Or that.
Zecco?
and not dying in a plane
Yeah,
crash.
I've already lived long enough for people to remember me that love me, so
Hey, Zecco.
they'll remember me. I'll get the best of both worlds. I get people who do love me and people who never knew me go, why the hell is there a big statue in the middle of downtown White Bear?
So wait
They
a minute,
wouldn't-
you die in a plane
Oh,
crash?
wow.
You think you're getting a statue for dying in a
yeah,
plane crash?
why
That's
wouldn't
not
I?
how it works.
Did you
I
save
wouldn't.
anybody?
Yeah. Did you
Yeah,
join the
so-
Mile High Club?
So wait
Yeah,
a minute.
went
So the
back in.
270 plus people that died in this plane crash 44 years
Yeah.
ago, in all of their individual hometowns, they all have statues of themselves?
Obviously,
Maybe,
Corey.
if their town cares about them, yeah.
If their zone cares about them.
I find it interesting. May I say, do you remember what the guy's name was who ate all the people in Milwaukee? What the hell's the guy's name? The serial
David
killer.
Jeffrey
Kramer,
No, the serial killer who ate people in Milwaukee.
Koresh,
Yep, you can get there, Zach.
no,
You can do it.
Well, this is not going to work for me then. My point was going to be, you remember Jeffrey Dahmer's name.
Jeffrey Dahmer. That's it. Yeah.
Some things you don't want to be remembered for.
Well,
Yeah.
no, of course not.
But my point is that your feeling about that's going to change over time. You're going to realize that all you really want to do is just be happy.
Right. That sounds awful, Zach.
Being remembered after you die.
Again, my point is,
ain't gonna
I
matter.
don't want to die in a plane crash.
Sounds like it.
Cool.
Sounds like you do.
But you don't care
well,
if you don't.
I just told you I didn't. I'm just saying that I'm not. I'm kind of put at ease because I have zero control over the plane. Now, if I'm in the pilot seat,
What if you
then
died in a car crash?
If you're in
I'm
the pilot seat,
terrified.
you're probably going to say, "What the fuck am I doing in the
Yeah,
pilot
and why
seat?"
am I blowing the pilot?
Well, I know why I know why that. I mean,
But what if you die in a car crash today?
horrible.
Why? You'd be remembered by the people who love you.
And
Yeah,
think
you're
of the
not
remembered by
statue.
the guy who
You'd
had
be
to
surprised.
haul your carcass out of the
Right,
dead
and think of
car.
the Roadhead statue they'd put up for you in White Bear
They
Lake.
wouldn't.
You'd be blowing
Wait a minute.
somebody.
You're blowing somebody when you die? Are
Yeah.
you driving and blowing somebody?
Yeah.
Your statue in White Bear Lake makes you look like you're very surprised.
Speaking of that,
It's a fountain.
Do you have a decapitated penis in your mouth?
yeah.
You're going to be in the middle of Maplewood Mall just looking shocked.
Do you have Randy Marsh's cock magic in your mouth?
Oh, man.
Okay, you were saying, speaking of that,
No,
when we talked
did
about
you
Roadhead,
hear what Tommy said off the air today?
What part?
was it not for
So
air?
it shows how horny that human is.
Oh,
so
there's just no such. No, I know.
Ben was talking about how, he's going up to his cabin, I think, today or tomorrow. And I said, yeah, I'm going up to mine today, and my wife's driving. And before I can finish my sentence, he goes, you're going to eat her out on the way up there, aren't you? And I go, no, I meant like I'd have a cocktail or what?
Wait a
Like,
minute.
on the way
Wait a
up?
minute.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
hello. But he literally, I go, Ben, I looked at Ben and I go, yeah, my wife's going to drive, so, I'll have a roadie or two. Kidding, obviously. And before I could barely finish the sentence, he goes, you're going to eat her out on the way up there, aren't you? And I'm like, what?
How do you do that?
I don't know, but that's not what I meant
How do you-
when I said my
Road dome's
wife's
hard enough.
driving.
Yeah.
How do you?
Yeah, you got rid of your Tesla.
Yeah, right. If we were driving the
You
Tesla,
get a self-driving
for
car,
sure.
maybe.
I don't even. The physics
Just
of
keep
it
your
don't
hand
make
on the
sense
wheel,
to me. I
baby.
mean, like,
No, you have to pivot.
Yeah.
oh my god.
I don't.
Okay.
I couldn't, it was just like he had
I have
so much
questions.
caffeine in him and he was so goddamn horny. That's when
Yeah.
he came over the top.
I gotta call him.
Why? Do you want to eat him out?
No, I just want to ask how that's done. I'm fascinated by it because he's obviously.
I can understand
done it.
if you're just using your hand. You know what
yeah,
I'm
of
saying? But
course.
Yeah.
Sure.
that makes sense.
Sure.
But wow.
It's incredibly dangerous.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, let's be
But that's
concerned
not-
about safety.
Right.
Don't get an EUI.
Zach, have you given Roadhead?
Eating under the influence.
wait.
I don't think that works.
What?
Wait, that's actually driving
While
being
being
eat out.
Zach, when was the last time you gave Roadhead?
Oh God, it's been years.
Johnny Road.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, no,
You can tell us, buddy.
no, like
You could tell us, buddy boy.
no.
Johnny Road.
Like 21, 22, I don't know. Not all. That would
Not
be-
oh.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Yeah, so that was Tommy. That's what Tommy thought I was going to say.
I'm impressed. But anyway, Here's the next thing I have for you. I remember because I was a part of this. So I was 15 years old. It was a big deal in high school. On this date in 1986, more than 6 million Americans held hands to form a line across the country to raise money for the homeless. The Hands Across America chain had several breaks, so homelessness was not conquered. But that's a line from the completion, which I think is very funny. But I do remember being a part of that. I remember Hands Across America was like a big deal.
I don't remember that.
No, well, you wouldn't. In 86, you were 2, right?
4.
4, yeah, right. But no, that was a big deal. On this date in 1992, Jay Leno made his debut as the full-time host of The Tonight Show.
You know what? On that point, I love Conan, but I've been going down a YouTube rabbit hole on Craig Ferguson, and I never watched The Late Late Show because Conan was so good. But goddamn, Craig Ferguson, what an underrated television show. Like, he
Got to tip
was
your hat
hilarious.
to the fact that he improv'd his monologue.
Yeah.
Oh, did he really?
That's unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Unreal. They had the myth. One of the MythBusters created a robot, and that was his sidekick.
Yep.
So he had Jeff was his sidekick, and the guy who can't remember his name, but who did the voice for that was hilarious. I mean, that show. If you ever get bored, some of the best TV moments were on the Late Late Show, and I was watching Conan the whole time, and I don't regret that, obviously. But man, that Craig Ferguson, man, he's an underrated television host and comedian. He is a hilarious, good, down to earth human being too. Because like he had a monologue back in like 05, 06, where he, everybody was making jokes about Britney Spears, and that was when she was like going down the shaving her head and everything, and he talked about his own personal struggles, how he had been at that point 12 years sober, and how he went through rehab, and he was like, we need to care more about these people. We need to stop, tearing these people down. And it's just, I highly recommend checking out some of the old Craig Ferguson clips. That's one of the best gifts of YouTube is resurrecting some great things that you might have missed back in the day.
Very good. 1935 on this day, 21-year-old Ohio State sophomore Jesse Owens set 4 world records in 45 minutes at the Big Ten Track and Field Championships. At 3:15, he ran the 100 meters in the 100-yard dash, I should say, in 9.4 seconds. That tied the record, okay? At 3:25, 10 minutes later, he long jumped once and broke the world record of 26 feet 2 inches. At 3:35, he ran the 2:20 in 20.3 seconds, breaking the world record. And at 4 p.m., again, he started at 3:15. At 4 p.m., he ran the 2:20 low hurdles in 22.6 seconds and broke the world record. Again, Jesse Owens, 4 world records in 45 minutes on this date in 1935.
My God. What an accomplishment.
Yeah.
I've lived 43 years, and I've never done any of those events in under those times. Not once.
No.
Not once.
Nope.
Which is super crazy, right? Because that's 4 different events. I could have specialized in one of them.
Yeah.
But Jesse Owens, faster than me and can jump farther than me still to this day, and he's been dead for quite some time.
And I'm going to go ahead and do this in memory of Tommy Olson, who died eating somebody's vagina while
they were driving.
Yep, right. He probably had a huge crank on him.
Maybe the airbag made it better.
Weird. What? I don't know. Have you guys ever done any or heard any of these things? If you did any of these things growing up, you're old, is what this headline is.
Oh, boy.
This comes from BuzzFeed. Have you ever used a pencil to rewind a cassette tape?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think you had. Didn't ever hear somebody yell, "Get off the internet, I need to use the phone"?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys
All
are old
the
enough
time.
for that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we
Okay.
were there.
Oh, yeah.
That was mid-90s.
Yeah.
I guess it was. Wow.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah.
Wait, you remember that?
What?
Yeah, I mean, I was probably 7, 8 years old.
When were you
still
7 or
in
8 years old?
In 2003. So we didn't get broadband till probably 05, 06.
You don't need to call people broadbands.
Oh.
You mean the Go-Go's?
Thunderstruck.
Man, those gals.
They're
right?
kick ass. They kick ass.
Are they?
They're great, but they're fucking nuts.
They're
Are
crazy.
Dude, we came back. We played after them at Lakes Jam one year, and if you remember, I was sponsored by American Honey, and our trailer was covered in American Honey stickers. Got back to our trailer, and they were standing beside the trailer, the band, the whole band. And I was like, hey, well, great. You guys sounded great. They were like, thanks. Is there whiskey in here? They were waiting by our trailer because they thought there was whiskey in the American Honey trailer. They fucking
that stuff
like
was
to party.
That stuff was great. I love that stuff.
I still love that stuff.
Did you play with, and you may have said this, I apologize.
Yeah.
Did you play with them at Sturgis, too? Aren't they a big Sturgis band?
Did we play with them?
I think you have.
I'm sure they are. We probably have, yeah.
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 And it's
Crazy.
all AC/DC covers, none of their original?
And the lady who does the Angus Young is fucking amazing on
Really?
guitar. Amazing, yeah. Did you ever need one key to unlock your car door and the other to start the car engine?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back up?
I never did, but I remember my dad's Oldsmobile Cutlass, I think, had that.
Yeah. My grandma drove one.
Yeah,
of
because
those,
the ignition key was always like twice the size, or it had like the thing on the
Right.
back end that was like bigger to identify it as the ignition key.
There was
and
a
the door
circle
key.
and the
So for
square
sure.
key.
Mm-hmm.
The square key did one and the other did the other.
Yeah.
Point.
Yep.
This is a weird thing, and I'm even doing it right now. It freaks me out. Do you guys have a thing that like is nails on a chalkboard for you?
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
One of mine is even just reading the sentence makes me do it, and I can't even think about it. It fucking freaks me out. I don't know why. Eat push-up pops, right?
Oh, love them.
When you got down to the end and the cardboard was wet,
Ooh.
and I don't know why that freaks me out so much, but it's literally nails on a chalkboard.
Ooh.
That feeling of your teeth going into the wet cardboard, I can't eat a push-up pop for that reason. But I fucking loved them. It's too bad.
Oh, push-up pops were great.
Those are good.
Printing out your directions from MapQuest.
1,000%. That
Of course.
was festival
Cross-country
season.
trips.
Dude,
Like,
can you imagine trying to
yeah.
do
I
that
know
now?
we're old enough
No.
now where a lot of us, we went to Daytona Beach, not with GPS on our phones. We went with
Oh, you
printed out
drove
directions.
down there for that?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you flew.
No, it's 24-hour drive. We like caravanned it down. And what's
probably
crazy, of course,
did.
again, if you miss a turn in, Memphis or something, if you're on the wrong highway, you had to do the fucking go to the gas station and say, how do we get back to Highway 62?
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Like, that was your only way to get back on
Yeah.
track. Because I know where I'm supposed to go because this is what the list says. But I'm not on Highway 62. So how do I get back there? Then they tell you.
It was always torture to
Yes.
try to read a goddamn map.
Oh.
I was never any good at
No,
it, man. And you
yeah.
missed the exit 5 times.
Yep, and you couldn't zoom in. All of it. Me, Sean, Randy, and Luke went to a
You
Michigan.
have a friend named Mishan?
Me, Sean, yeah. Sean,
Mishan.
Randy, Luke, and I
And
went to
Mishan.
a Michigan football game in Ann Arbor, and I drove, and we took a wrong
Mishan
turn.
was in the back.
Mishan was in the back, eating out me, Luke.
Me, Luke came with.
Yeah, me, Luke was there, and Tommy Olson couldn't control himself. Yeah. But I took a wrong turn. We had to go into a gas station and be like, how do we get back to this highway?
And Mishan wanted to kill you.
Oh, fuck yeah. Mishan was so mad.
Oh.
Mishan used to be so... people think you're mean to me. When we were
Wait, people think that?
when we were seniors in high school, Sean came over once, and it was like anything back then. He left some kind of basketball jersey of his at my house. Hadn't seen him for like a week, right? My mom had washed it, left it somewhere, thought it was mine. I put it on. Him and I go out on the lake. This is when I'm as fat as I fucking can be, right?
Oh, my God.
Makes me take it off and ride around on the boat without a shirt on. Because he's like, I told you not to fucking wear that. You're going to stretch it out. He made me take it off. Then we pick up like 3 gals on the boat, and here's fucking Humpty Dumpty in the back. No shirt on. Just fat as fuck. And he made me take the jersey off. Yeah. Mishan
God.
did that to me. I love him.
I just can't
I'd
believe.
fucking die for that guy.
I know
but
that,
it was
and I know
awful.
that he's a very, very tough guy. But why wouldn't you just fight him? There's
He'd
no
kill
chance.
me. He'd throw me
Yeah,
overboard.
but I would rather die than have people see my fat rolls.
Yeah.
Just to prove a point. Throw
No,
some
Sean
fists.
would
Yeah,
have
man.
thrown me overboard. He was so tough
But
back
at least you'd
then.
have a shirt on.
Yeah.
Back in the MapQuest
And I-
days,
and I
right?
die.
Yeah, right.
The non-GPS days when you had to print out
Was Mishan
directions.
there?
No, the road trip rule was, at least I thought this should have been common sense, but is if you're getting off on an exit to get gas,
You have to see the gas
you
station.
have to see the
Yes.
gas station. And I remember specifically that Daytona trip.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
One of my ex-friends
Mishan?
would go,
Mishan?
let's just get off here. There's got to be a gas station. And you'd say, there wasn't a sign
Yeah,
for a gas
right,
station.
right.
They'd get off on the exit. They'd take a right. And now 10 minutes later, we're 10 miles off course, and I've been here. Stop the fucking car.
Oh.
Get out, because I'm going to run you over,
Oh.
skin you to death, and leave you.
Yeah,
I fucking hate you right now. Now we are
You can't
beyond,
take chances, man.
Right, we're beyond empty,
Yeah.
and we're nowhere near a gas station. You can't get off on an exit without knowing there's a gas station. I hate that.
That's still now.
It's
That's
still
even,
now.
even
but
food wise.
Totally
still,
agree now.
yeah.
Yes.
If
But
it
still.
doesn't say, like Raising Cane's 1.2 miles to the right,
Yeah.
I ain't getting off. It's food. It's 100%.
You have
Road
to
trip,
see it.
gas stations and food spots have to be within eyesight, or I'm not getting
And
off
plus,
on that
you
exit.
have the luxury right now of saying 21 miles till empty, 18 miles
Exactly.
till empty,
Yeah.
15, and
You
now
know
you're
exactly.
fucked. You better get some
Yeah.
gas
Yep.
right now, right?
And then you're running on empty, and Tommy's losing his mind like Jackson
Because
Brown.
he's eating puss.
Are
in
you-
the back
and,
seat.
and again, there's nothing better than one person going. There
He
has
doesn't
to
care
be
where you stop because he's eating your vagina
Yeah.
as you drive.
when one person says there has to be a gas station, and everybody else in the car says no, there doesn't.
No.
there doesn't have to
No.
be. And then the one person who's driving is the one who's voting yes, and that's the one who drives 10 miles the wrong way. And everybody else in the car is going, "I told you,
No.
I told you, I told you," and he won't fucking turn
No,
around.
The other gas station rule too is we don't stop, and you're different because you have very limited food options. But you don't stop, especially if it's longer. If you go in, like you're going to Chicago, let's say, you stop somewhere that you don't have at home. You're
Oh,
not
yeah.
stopping at
Yeah, you don't
McDonald's.
stop at
You're
McDonald's.
No, you're
No,
stopping.
fuck that. You stop at
back then
Taco
it was-
John's or Hardee's
Chick-fil-A
or-
when Chick-fil-A used
Yeah, for
or
sure.
Hardee's. You don't
Yeah.
go somewhere where you can go at home. You just don't.
Can I tell you guys one of the? This literally, I've been in fights where I was less mad than this.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Was this the pizza bit?
I won't say who the person was, but I let this person borrow our truck, and this was before this person bought it from us, and he was going to pick me up in this truck to take me to a gig at Bogart's. This is way back in the day. He picks me up. He's late. I think we probably went out at 9. I bet he picked me up at 8:20, right? So he's probably an hour late to pick me up. And we get to where 62 curves off of 35, right in there, like onto so 35, and then you get off on 62 going towards the airport.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the car starts sputtering, and we run out of fucking gas. So he picked me up late, and he didn't have any gas in my truck, and he ran us out of gas on the way to the show. That's about as angry as I've ever been without
bet.
actually being in a fight. I couldn't believe it.
Is it the same guy
I don't
that
know what happened.
has
Well,
a rich uncle?
Guess what? You didn't put any fucking gas in the truck. You
Did-
fucking moron.
Did you eat him out though?
That's why we probably.
Is he the same one whose troubles are all behind him because he has a rich
I
uncle?
can say anything about anything.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, one more note before
yeah,
we
go ahead.
move on, because I just remembered the other part of it. When we drove to Daytona and this rogue friend was going 10 miles the wrong way looking for a gas station, we had two cars. We were driving together. So think
Oh,
about the car
no.
behind us
Oh, God.
that for 10 miles we're like, where are these fucking idiots going? Right? Because they were probably confused as hell. We were the lead car.
Ugh.
And they're like, why are we going in the middle of nowhere? This isn't the right way. But this was 2000 and... was that 3?
69.
I think that was 2003. So I don't even know I don't know our level of communication in 2003. I think some of us probably had cell phones. Probably, I don't even remember. But I just
I don't
remember.
know, right?
I don't remember. But I just remember them probably thinking, "Where the hell are these fucking idiots
You know what?
going?"
You had to have a cell phone, I would bet, to call me.
Because I called you from
'Cause you
Daytona.
called,
So
yeah.
so we must have.
But
But
it was probably something where you didn't want to use the minutes.
Yeah, it was a
or I
Nokia
wonder-
flip phone or
yeah.
something like
or
that.
that still may have been the window where you had a limited number of text messages a month. Otherwise, they started charging you per
Oh,
text.
I remember that, yeah.
So maybe we were communicating a little bit. So maybe if if my memory wasn't so shitty,
Yeah.
maybe they were texting us going like, "Where are you guys going?" I have no memory of that. I just remember them eventually saying how confused they were that we were so far off the path. Well, fucking idiot here thinks there's a gas station between here and the end of the earth. Anyway, what's the rest of this list?
I got a couple more, and we're 23 minutes in, so we'll in just a second. But there's two more that I want to mention. One of them, do you remember having to switch the TV to Channel 3 to watch a movie or
Of
play
course.
a video?
100%.
course.
Yep. That was always the question when the video game didn't work. Is it on Channel 3?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Do you know why that was? You've explained that, right?
I don't know if I've explained it, but from what I understand is like they basically did not have over the air broadcasts on channel. They designated Channel 3 as the channel for it.
Right.
I remember when we had to get a special cable for my Xbox when we brought it up to the resort we used to vacation at up in Leech Lake, and because it had the yellow, white, and red before HDMI, but that TV didn't. So we had to get like a special conversion cable to make it so the Xbox could work with Channel 3 on that TV. It was a different time, man.
It certainly was. And the last one, this is not on the list, but this was for me personally, and it's hard to believe. I mean, can you really imagine? Really think about this. We used to be able to smoke on airplanes.
Oh yeah, that was
really think about it. And everybody did, by the way, because everybody smoked. Like I can remember riding the plane in the late 70s and early 80s. And not only were you allowed to smoke, but everybody was smoking. I can't even imagine that today.
If one person smoked on a plane today, I'd want to throw them out of the plane.
Yeah. It would smell up the entire place.
The whole thing.
The whole place would be I can't remember, but I can remember ashtrays being full. Like when you got on the plane and the ashtray already being full from the last person who was sitting there.
How often did a cigarette start the carpet on fire?
I can only imagine how many people.
How terrifying is that if you're in the middle of a 7-hour flight
especially
and the carpet starts on fire?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or somebody falls asleep.
Right.
I just can't believe that was something that happened.
Getting their parts eaten. Yeah.
For me, that would be stepping in a completely different world.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
I used to smoke in restaurants.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember a little. No, because I remember Perkins. Like one of my earlier memories, like when I was super young. Like I remember they had the smoking section,
right,
with the glass wall between it, but it was still. It's not like they had doors. I don't understand how that really helped much, but that's a whole different world.
Smoking on an airplane is like just
that's disgusting.
That is the worst
and
possible thing. I mean,
right.
But again, if you were on a plane, dude, with 200 people back then, 120 of them probably lit up at some point during the flight.
And I've said I smoked for 10 plus years. It's fucking disgusting. It disgusts me now.
Yeah, my mom used to smoke, and when we would go to restaurants, she would want to sit in the smoking section, and the list was always longer.
Yep.
So I used to beg my mom, let's go sit in the non-smoking section, and then you can go outside and smoke. No, I got to sit in the smoke. But it's a 30-minute wait for you to bang long darts.
Yeah, but there were times where you'd get to a restaurant, and the non-smoking section had a 45-minute wait, and there was no wait in the smoking section, and you
That equally sucked. Yeah, but you didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
When I guess my question is on the planes. They've kind of gotten rid of it now. They've changed a lot of the no smoking lights to like Wi-Fi or whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact that they had those lights on, were there times where you couldn't light up on a plane when it was legal?
I'm sure it was.
Or was that
I can't
just
remember.
to pound the point home to everybody in every row? You can't fucking smoke anymore.
Good question.
I wonder. I can't remember. It would make sense that you wouldn't be able to light up during takeoff or landing because you'd be easy to drop your fucking cig,
right?
Yeah.
Or light the place on fire. but I mean, you're talking about an open flame, lighting your cigarette on the plane.
But to Zach's point, like that would be the equivalent now if they had a picture of a guy standing behind a pig, like no bestiality on the plane. And then Zach asks, like, was there a time that they fucked pigs on planes? Well, no, it's just they want everybody on the plane to know that is not acceptable.
No pig fucking.
Or next to the airbag thing on the car, like no eating out on the car.
Was there a time you could do that? No,
unless
not
you're with
really.
Tommy.
They just want you to know that's a terrible idea.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
everybody.
Thank you, Haven Poker. Download the app and use that promo code PowerTrip. Please do that for us.
Bye.
Bye.